In today's video, I'm going to be doing a first manicure on this client, and she's had a bad experience in the past with manicures. She said she had problems with some of the nails when the manicure was done quite aggressively. So I'm going to do a very gentle manicure without cutting any of the skin around the nails. I'm just going to snip this little area, and she was saying she had issue with this nail, so I'm going to be very gentle around when filing this nail to make sure she doesn't have any problems. And I think and yes, we're going to do just a clear nail polish, so we're going to do the Dazzle Dry base coat and top coat. The reason why I like it is because it's very quick drying, the Dazzle Dry, and also because it doesn't yellow the nails. I'm going to shape the nails. The shaping is going to make a big difference. And with regular manicures and just nudging back the skin around the nails, I think the nails are going to look really, really good. So I'm going to just shorten them a little bit. And I'm being very careful not to like file into the sides, because that's when sometimes problems start. So I'm going to just shape according to the natural shape. La forma está bien, así?
Así como tú tienes.
Oh, okay.
Igual.
Okay. So I think we're gonna do this. This looks very nice and balanced. Very gently.
El mismo medida. Tamaño. Medida. Lo mismo como tú tienes.
Ah, okay, perfecto. Everyone likes the shape of my nails. It's very natural. How beautiful. And you know, when I do manicures, I don't necessarily, I mean, obviously I want the client to be happy and I want them to see results, but I don't try to achieve results at any cost, because I know that over time the nails are going to improve. Like, I don't force anything. What people sometimes need is care and time, and not very aggressive manicures to make the nails look perfect. In the back, you hear the autoclave. That's what it is. I had someone ask me the other day what to do when the shape of the nails is different on each finger. So this kind of, it's very normal for the nails to be different. So this one is a little bit shorter, this one has a longer nail bed, this one is shorter again. It's very normal for the shape of the nail bed to kind of go up a little bit this way. So what I do is I make sure that the nail is symmetrical, but then sometimes a tiny bit, just so it's not as visible. The fact that the white is uneven, I just go up a little bit in this area, because when the nails are polished, I go symmetrical. But if the nails are not polished, I usually lift this side a little bit, just so it looks a little bit more even, I guess you would say. And by the way, filing in both directions is absolutely okay. So it's not damaging to the nails. I have to make a specific video about it. It's actually easy to explain it, it's just that I have to sit down and do it. Okay, sometimes what I do, if I'm unsure about the shape, I go this way Then I look at the nails because this is where how the client sees their nails. They're good. I think I'm gonna do a little bit shorter than this one. All right, so this one is done. So what I do when I shape the nails, I usually shape the one side and then I match the other one. So I kind of imagine a line going up and down like this, and now I'm going to try to mirror this side. See? Sometimes I like to look at the nails from like different angles a little bit, pointing down. So now we're going to nudge back the living skin very gently, and I'm not pressing on the nail a lot because I'm trying to leave the cuticle behind, and I'm just going to nudge the skin back. You see the cuticle is this white part. I can actually feel it under the stick. And I'm doing this gently, and a lot of times people are asking if it's okay to do this dry. It is, because I'm doing this very, very gently. I'm not trying to separate the skin, I'm just trying to nudge it a little bit. So with this type of skin, what I try to do is just nudge it very gently, not all the way back, because what happens is when you try to separate that skin, right now the skin, first of all, it's stretched because it has been stuck to the nail, and as the nail is growing, it's pulling the skin with it. And because the skin is dry, it's just not bouncing back properly. So there's two things that need to happen for this to look a little bit nicer. So the skin has to be healthier, it has to be more elastic, and you can nudge it back very gently. When you try to separate it all at once, you're just gonna have this thick skin sticking up that's going to dry out. Because right now, the skin is getting some moisture from the nail plate. So the nail bed, the moisture goes up through the nail, and the nail is getting, the skin is getting some moisture. But when you separate it forcefully, it's going to just be a little messy. Especially when the skin is thicker. So you see, I'm not doing this because this is a sharp piece. I'm using this side. And over time, that skin is going to shrink. And for some people, that's happens faster than others. But the more you care for that skin, the more soft the skin is going to get. So yes, you could separate the skin all the way, cut it, but that's very invasive. And sometimes that looks good initially, but after 2 to 3 days, the skin starts to heal and crack and be very messy looking. So I'm going to use electric file very gently. Just smooth the skin around the nails, bevel the free edge just a little bit, and then remove the cuticle from the nail plate. And I'm doing this on 9,000 RPM with a feather-light touch, little taps, and that's it. So obviously, if you're doing your own nails, you're not going to be using electric file, and that's perfectly fine. I don't recommend using electric file unless you are very comfortable using it and highly trained with it, because it's very easy to make a mistake. I just had someone in the comment section ask me, like, what is she doing wrong, because she's being very light and she still damages the nail. And yes, because you know what, when you learn, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. So I don't recommend it for like a personal use. So for this, you can definitely use a cuticle remover, like I show in many of my videos when I do my own nails. So you see, this is the cuticle here. It feels different under the file. It just feels like a little bit more chalky or something. See, this is cuticle. And yes, sometimes for some people it's difficult to see, then don't worry about it. If you can't tell the difference, just nudge the skin and don't worry about the removing cuticle first when the skin is stretched like this. Is good. So this one. So if there are any pieces that might tear, they can be snipped, but definitely I don't remove the skin around the nails. And don't forget that right now the skin is a little dusty, so it looks much worse than it will once we apply oil and cream. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this. This is good. I'm just going to take a block to smooth the tree edge, to bevel it a little bit so it's nice and smooth. This is a prep. So basically it's an alcohol-based cleanser to make sure that the nails are nice and clean before the polish application, because if there's any oils, anything, dust, obviously, the polish is not going to stick properly. So as I mentioned, we're going to use the Dazzle Dry. And the base coat, when it's cool in the room, it looks, it becomes thicker and it looks a little milky. So you want to make sure that you put it in hot water for the base coat to warm up, so it becomes completely clear. Because if it's a little bit cloudy, it's not going to bond properly with different ingredients, that's for sure. I mean, it's still a nail polish, but it's just a little different. And I have to say, the way it dries, how quickly it dries, you just can't match it. But just like anything, it has pros and cons. I don't think there is a perfect brand out there. We choose to use certain products for one reason or the other. For me, for sure, it's the drying time, especially for pedicures, because my clients can just put their shoes on right away after the pedicure, and I don't use any gel polish on feet. It's unnecessary. I had someone ask me, I mean, this is a pretty common question, if you can just use the base coat for Dazzle Dry and not the top coat, and you can't. The base coat dries to like a matte finish, and it's not going to be shiny. It's not going to last, I don't think so. So now I can see that the surface is nice and matte, which tells me that it's dry. And now I'm going to apply a top coat. Okay, so I'm going to let them dry for 1 minute and then put the oil and cream on the nails. I'm gonna let them dry for a minute and we'll be right back. take some pictures, and we're done. So this took me like 30 minutes. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. See you soon. Bye.